Beautiful Mind was on Premier's list of 20 most overrated films.
You are the best natural code breaker I have ever seen.
And today we analyze a scene from the same movie which could be called as a perfect example of bringing in all aspects of filmmaking together on one page and in a precise way to give a very beautiful scene, and thus making you think whether this film really deserved to be on that unpopular list. The scene we are talking about is the one where John Nash's journey of self-realization and self-recovery starts. This scene is really important as it heavily contributes in moving the story forward. So without any further delay, let's dive straight into the scene. To begin with, the first shot explains the geography and the date of the scene. The gloominess in the entire color palette of the scene suggests of a storm coming ahead. The entire build-up through the edit and the background score gives you chills and you feel that something wrong is going to happen. The next shot shows the hallway where John is with the kid and Alicia is taking the clothes out. Both of them are blocked in such a way that shows John is more confident in his task, but Alicia is less confident and more worried. But she is trying to trust John here. The uneasiness in this moment is underlined by the violent sound scores. The next scene shows Alicia taking out clothes from the hanger, and the lighting in this scene is even more gloomier, which suggests that the storm is nearby. And the sound design in this scene makes you even more uncomfortable by the sounds of wind and the sound of hanger rotating. There is a weird quietness in the environment, and suddenly Alicia notices a sound of radio coming from the woods. As she moves ahead, the different elements through edit come into play and suggest that the storm could hit you any moment. And also, as the character moves forward, the sound of radio also keeps on increasing. The visuals and the sounds created inside the warehouse are all messed up one over another. The sounds of paper overlapping, the radio, the wind noise, clearly depicting the chaos inside John's mind. It was as if Alicia entered John's mind and not the warehouse. Alicia's reaction here shows how all the progress regarding John's health was lost completely. The scene here is intercut with John filling the water inside the tub with the baby in it, and then Alicia realizing and running back swiftly to the house. In the next shot, we see Alicia running back towards the house. The framing in this shot is done from inside the house, and the camera is placed in such a way that Alicia's character seems very small and very far away from the house, making the audience more anxious that will she reach on time or not. When Alicia enters the room, we see John completely losing it, which is depicted very nicely by the way he was trying to handle the window, which shows that all his efforts to stop the storm from coming in are going in vain, be it his house or his life. We hear loud cries of the baby, and she quickly looks for the baby and saves the kid from drowning. The way the dialogues were exchanged in the scene shows brilliant portrayal of high-end emotions by the actors. The background score completely fades off here, and it's just the ambience and the dialogues doing the magic. Alicia picks up the baby and moves downstairs to call up the doctor, while John tries to explain himself. The moment we are at the lower level, the score again starts coming in. The agent appears when Alicia calls up the doctor. The placing of both the characters here shows the dilemma in John's mind and his battle of understanding of what's real and what is not. A very important moment arrives in the next shot, where the agent threatens to shoot Alicia and John rushes to save her, but ends up hurting her even more. The sound of the gun and the sound of head hitting the shelf gives us a psychological edge. Alicia gets up, picks up the car keys and rushes out of the house with the kid. And we see all of this from John's perspective, thus giving us an idea of what John is feeling, and we see Alicia and the kid moving away from us. In the next moment, we see John's roommate, the agent and the little girl coming together, and we sort of enter John's mind at this moment. And the sound design, the shot design and the circular track and the edit completely takes you inside the chaos of John's mind, where he realizes something. And we see multiple shots of the girl again and again. In the very next moment, we see John blocking Alicia's car. Then John says she never gets old.
She never gets old.
She can't be real, she never gets old.
Marcy can't be real. She never gets old.
Alicia again remains quiet, but looks down, and there is a sudden sense of relief. Again performed brilliantly by the actors. The intensity of this entire sequence gradually goes up and finally comes to a point of calmness in the end. The entire sequence helps us reveal John's character and thus helping in moving the story forward. It helps us to move ahead with John in his battle to get better.